Dorit and Paul P.K. Kemsley have long been viewed as one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills' most memorable power couples. A British businessman and a fashion-forward reality star, whose love story seemed to blend charm, humor, and unshakable loyalty. Together, they've defined luxury, from designer wardrobes to lavish mansions, and for years, they've projected the image of a couple who could survive anything. But beneath the diamonds and laughter, the truth may be far more complicated than fans ever realized. Recently, reports and whispers from insiders have suggested that Dorit Kemsley made a decision so unexpected, it left not only PK, but their closest friends in total disbelief. People are asking, what really happened between Dorit and PK Kemsley? And could this be the breaking point in one of Beverly Hills' most watched marriages? Scene shift. Soft instrumental music fades into a slower, more reflective tone. Behind the Bravo cameras and perfectly curated Instagram posts, Dorit and PK have reportedly been facing increasing tension. According to sources close to the couple, PK has been focused on rebuilding his business ventures and reputation after years of financial and public challenges, while Dorit has been channeling her energy into personal healing, motherhood, and mental wellness. In the past year, fans have watched Dorit open up about her anxiety and trauma after a terrifying home invasion, a moment that changed everything for her emotionally. While PK was her rock during that time, insiders say the couple's priorities began to drift in different directions. Dorit, who once built her brand around glitz and glam, started pulling away from the fast-paced social scene. She became quieter, more introspective, often choosing family time over parties. Meanwhile, PK reportedly found himself missing the old Dorit, the one who thrived on fun, spontaneity, and the spotlight. The difference in energy and focus seems to have reached a breaking point. According to several close friends, Dorit recently made a decision that caught everyone off guard, including PK himself. She's decided to take some time apart, stepping back from their shared life to focus on herself and the couple's 2 children. The most shocking part? Sources claim Dorit didn't fully discuss the details with PK before finalizing her choice. Reports suggest she's temporarily moved into a separate residence closer to her family and support system in Los Angeles. A move that, while not labeled as a separation, certainly feels like one. Friends of PK say he was completely blindsided. He had believed that they were planning to repair things quietly, away from cameras, before the upcoming Real Housewives reunion. Instead, Dorit's sudden decision to prioritize her emotional well-being and independence has raised eyebrows and questions among fans and insiders alike. Those who've seen PK recently describe him as uncharacteristically subdued. The usually confident and charismatic businessman appears deeply shaken, though still protective of Dorit in public. He's reportedly telling friends that he'll always love her, but he's unsure what the future holds. While PK has always admired Dorit's resilience, insiders say he didn't expect her to take such a decisive step back, especially not at a time when their marriage was under such public scrutiny. Montage of rhobh clips showing Dorit and PK's best moments together. The Kemsleys were once the perfect Bravo couple, playful, stylish, and fiercely loyal. PK often called Dorit his dream girl, while Dorit described him as her biggest supporter. But as one insider put it, they're 2 strong personalities with very different coping mechanisms. When things get tough, they don't always meet in the middle. As soon as news of Dorit's decision broke, social media erupted with reactions. Some fans expressed heartbreak, writing things like, "I can't believe it. Dorit and PK were the real deal." Others praised Dorit for her courage, commenting, "She's doing what's best for her and her kids. That takes strength." And of course, speculation quickly followed, with many wondering whether this time apart is temporary, or the first step towards something more permanent. Cut to Dorit in confessional clips, her voice echoing with emotion. While neither Dorit nor PK has publicly confirmed the status of their relationship, sources say both are taking time to re-evaluate what truly matters. Some insiders claim PK's recent statements, including one he allegedly made at the rhobh reunion taping, left Dorit feeling blindsided and hurt. Others suggest Dorit's ongoing emotional healing made her realize she needed space to rediscover herself outside of the cameras, the brand deals, and the marriage. Scene transition. Soft piano music builds with a mix of hope and melancholy. Even now, those close to the couple insist that the love between them hasn't disappeared, but they acknowledge that love alone doesn't always fix everything. PK and Dorit's story has always been one of bold personalities, big dreams, and undeniable chemistry. But sometimes, even the strongest couples face storms they never saw coming. Dorit's decision may not mark the end of their marriage, but it's undeniably a wake-up call that even in the glimmering world of Beverly Hills, real emotions and hard choices lie behind every designer door. Closing, calm, reflective tone. For now, fans can only hope that time apart brings clarity, and maybe even a path back to each other. Whether this chapter ends in reconciliation or goodbye, one thing is certain. Dorit and PK's journey proves that love, no matter how glamorous it looks on TV, is always more complicated off-screen. The story of Dorit and PK Kemsley was never just about glamour. It was about reinvention, ambition, and two people who built a life together under constant public pressure. For years, fans believed their bond was unbreakable. They weathered financial challenges, social media scrutiny, and some of the most emotional seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But as those close to the couple now reveal, what we've seen on screen was only a fraction of the truth. Behind the sparkling facade of designer labels and witty confessionals, cracks had been forming for a while. Scene shift, montage of tabloids, social media headlines, and paparazzi photos. Insiders say the turning point came months ago, around the time PK began spending more time in London for business, while Dorit focused on her commitments in Los Angeles. The distance wasn't supposed to be permanent, but as time went on, it started to feel symbolic. They were living two completely different lives, one friend reportedly shared. PK was dealing with projects overseas, networking, and managing his company, while Dorit was dealing with real emotional recovery and her kids' routines. They just couldn't seem to align. Another insider described how Dorit, who once found comfort in PK's larger-than-life personality, began craving stillness, something quieter and more grounding. She's evolved a lot, the insider added. Dorit has changed since the early rhobh seasons. The things that used to excite her don't always excite her now. She's more introspective, more spiritual. PK's still very much about the business hustle and entertainment world. That difference just grew. Cut to Dorit in earlier rhobh footage, speaking emotionally about family and trauma. For Dorit, the home invasion in 2021 wasn't just a traumatic event. It reshaped her entire outlook on life. She's spoken candidly on the show about the anxiety, fear, and sleepless nights that followed. Fans saw glimpses of that struggle, but what they didn't see was how deeply it affected her relationship. Sources say PK tried to be there for her, but he didn't always understand what she was feeling. He wanted to fix things, one source explained. He thought if they kept moving, kept working, kept living big, it would help her heal. But Dorit needed calm, not chaos. That disconnect reportedly led to tension, small disagreements that built over time into something much heavier. Scene transition, soft ambient sound of waves, representing distance and reflection. When Dorit decided to step back, it wasn't impulsive. Those close to her say she'd been thinking about it for months. It wasn't about falling out of love, but about finding balance and, maybe, herself. She still loves PK deeply, a friend of Dorit's revealed, but she felt like she'd lost her voice somewhere along the way. The reality TV spotlight, the brand partnerships, the pressure to look perfect all the time, it took a toll. She needed space to breathe again. PK, meanwhile, has been trying to process the change in his own way. He's been spotted out in Beverly Hills and London, still friendly with fans and always ready to talk business. But those who know him best say the usual spark in his demeanor has dimmed. He's hurt, but he's also proud of her, one longtime acquaintance shared. He's told people he wants her to be happy, even if that means being apart for a while. Cut to clips of PK speaking fondly of Dorit in older interviews. It's hard to forget how devoted PK once was to Dorit, the way he defended her in arguments, or how he'd tease her lovingly in interviews. That dynamic, filled with humor and affection, made them fan favorites. But according to sources, even PK acknowledges that their marriage hasn't been the same since the trauma, the stress, and the ever-intense Bravo spotlight. rhobh is amazing exposure, one insider explained, but it's also brutal. Every argument, every rumor, every financial issue gets amplified. You can't escape it. They both got caught in that cycle.